Well, how you doing? Mr. DJ's back. I want to count down my, resume the countdown of my fantasy playlist of April 28, 1985, as we're approaching the halfway point of this fantasy playlist at number 22, up from 25. This was a huge instrumental. Back in the spring of 1985, Howard Faltermeyer from Germany with Axel F. The song was on, the instrumental rather, was on the Beverly Hills soundtrack. Beverly Hills Cop soundtrack, and the title was taken from the main character played by Eddie Murphy. His name was Axel Foley, and the instrumental was played in the key of F minor, thus Axel F. There you go. Didn't know that until I researched the record, and now the research gets deeper. Axel F. This is high-tech dance music. Back in the day, Howard Faltermeyer, a multi-instrumentalist, could play the keyboards, played five instruments on this record. I'm going to go over all five instruments real quick. One of the instruments that he played on this record was the Roland Jupiter 8. The Roland Jupiter 8 was developed by the Roland Corporation in 1981. It was introduced by that corporation in 1981 as a synthesizer, just a keyboard, very elaborate keyboard system. But it provided that super saw, that sound at the beginning of the record, that distinctive super saw super saw sound. And he also played the Moog Modular Synthesizer 15. That provided the bass part of this record. And the Roland 5X-3P. That instrumental provided the chord stabs that punctuate throughout this record. That synthesizer, also introduced by the Roland Corporation in Japan, 1983. The Yamaha DX7 provided the bell sounds, and last but not least, the famous Lindrum. If you read about instruments in the 80s, you're going to run into the Lindrum. That was a very popular state-of-the-art drum machine back in the 80s. The Lindrum, also known as the Lind M2, that I presume that Harold Faltermeyer played on this record, it was the successor to the Lind M1, and the Lind M2 was introduced in 1982. The drum machine. The cost, $2,995. That was a big investment back in 1982. That's equivalent to about, maybe about 15,000 today, perhaps? 20,000? But the Lind M2 was pretty popular. 5,000 units were sold between 1982 through 1985. It's not too shabby. All right, that's it. That's all I got to say about this record. Let's get on with the countdown. Howard Faltermeyer, Axel F. Fantasy Playlist, April 28th, 1985.